All right, welcome back to Ask Mama Podcast. This is our fifth episode where I let the internet ask my mama questions. So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
be careful. Okay, let's not take this, but we're here and we're going to first do the questions from the audience and then we'll get into some other stuff, but we're going to just get right into the episode. How about that?
All right, let's
Y'all
do
feeling
it.
good?
Let's
Everybody
feeling
good?
Feeling good.
All
Let's do
right,
it.
all right. I like the earth tones y'all got on today. It's very nice. Y'all coordinating. You could have called and said we were wearing earth tones today, and I'm in black, so it's all right. It's all right.
Always in
You
order.
you got
Next
your earth
time,
tone
I
at
do.
birth.
My skin is
yes,
my earth tone.
There you go.
There it is.
Amen.
right.
And
Okay.
it's glowing.
Let's get to the first question. And just right before we get into the first question, I just want to say this show, Ask Mama Podcast, is on every Wednesday on YouTube, on this YouTube channel if you're watching. And if you're listening, we're also on Spotify. So I just wanted to say that. And if you have a question that you want to ask Mama, you can DM us on our Instagram page, which is Ask Mama Podcast. And the next Wednesday, we will hopefully answer your question. So
Okay.
let's get into the first question. Dear Mama, I recently lost my mother. She was only 53. I feel lost without her. I can't get over everything she's going to miss. My work, my friendships, even my marriage is suffering under my grief. What do I do? And this is a woman.
Well, the grief process has to take its course. There is no set manual, set rules. It is just a very painful journey that we all must take. And all I can say is give yourself some time and this is something I believe you never get over. You just learn to live with it, and it's going to be hard, sweetheart. And I pray your strength in the Lord because it is one of the most difficult things we ever go through as human beings in this life.
Yeah. I think that, she spoke about, her work and her friendships suffering during this time. And I just think that everybody just has to give you grace in this moment. Hopefully, the people in your life will give you grace. And sometimes, if this has been going on for a while, sometimes people don't know. Let them know that you're still struggling with your grief.
Yeah.
And I believe the people in your life that care about you will definitely support you for as long as you need, because I know that I would, if this was a friend of mine or a family member or something, we're there for them for as long as they need us there. But you definitely want to make sure you're telling people what you're going through,
Right.
and that this is affecting you a lot deeper than maybe it looks like, because especially women, we carry a lot, and sometimes we don't verbalize how much it's affecting us.
Yeah.
So I definitely think she needs to lean on her friends and family and let them know that she's struggling still.
Yeah. I was going to say definitely
Yeah.
use transparency and take advantage of your network, the people that are around you who love you so they can support you and uplift you during this time. As far as personal grief is concerned, when you lose a person, it's very easy to really pay attention and harp on losing that person and how that made you feel, which of course that's valid. But I think too what can kind of help is if you lean more toward the positive things and think about the great memories that you have with the person, and know that although they're not there with you physically, they're still always with you in your heart, spiritually, emotionally, and memories and different things that you did with the person. No one will ever be able to take those from you.
Right.
And with work, I would say, work, usually jobs don't really care.
They
like
don't.
they give you your bereavement day or days or whatever it is, and it's kind of, I really wouldn't look to them for sympathy unless you happen to work in some beautiful place, which most people don't. And so,
Yeah.
don't take, don't be, don't be sensitive to that, because that'll really affect you, and you could end up snapping on somebody because they're being a jerk and not realizing that you're, grieving and going through. So don't take it to work. Just separate yourself. Those people don't care about you.
And
Yeah.
take your time with it, because there's no set rules for this. And be honest with yourself. And grief comes in waves. You may be fine today, thinking maybe you're going to be okay, and the next day you may break down as if this just happened. But that's the way grief is. It comes in waves. And it's okay. Whatever you feel is okay.
Yep.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And we're praying for you. And it's an awful thing. And she was young. That's also very difficult.
Yes.
When you know that
53.
it feels
Good
like they're
Lord.
going too soon. It's just, woo, it's a lot. So, Lamar, what's your question? Let's throw it to you.
Yes. So, my first question is, Dear Mama, I've been dating this guy for about 2 months now. He seems okay, but out of the blue, he started talking about moving together. This makes me very uneasy because we just started dating. Is this a red flag, or should I entertain him?
If it were me in 2 months, and depending on how this person felt, you're not comfortable with a suggestion like that, I wouldn't entertain it. I would just say, no, you stay at your place, and I'm going to stay at mine. That's pretty quick, but, it depends on what's comfortable for that person who's asking this question. If that's not quick for you, have at it. But if you feel any type of discomfort, I would not proceed with that, because once you move in, everything is changing. I mean, are you adding this person? If you're in an apartment, are you adding them to the lease? Everything is going to change. So if you're not comfortable, absolutely not. Everybody has to stay at their designated homes.
2 months.
As far as I'm concerned.
I'm done. Like 2 months for me is a complete red flag to me. And because there's no way we know each other well enough to cohabitate.
Right.
And, I have issues with, the longevity of relationships. I'm definitely not the one to go to for that. But that is not my fault. I give it the best try and all that. But 2 months, somebody come to me talking about you want to live with me or you want to go find a place together. No.
Chop.
I don't know how that's not a red flag.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, are you trying to because that feels like you want to move in with me so somebody can help you pay your bills.
Come on.
Because that's the first thing I thought, what?
Right.
And do you want to move in with this person, or is this person saying, let's go get a place together? Because that's two different things. If you trying to move into my place,
that's even worse.
Absolutely not.
I think any way around after 2 months.
Yeah, it's just if you she's asking, or whoever it is asking, is it a red flag? To me, it's a red flag.
Baby, that thing is on fire.
On fire.
Okay.
It's a red flag
It's
on
another
fire.
one
I
on
wouldn't
fire.
do it. I wouldn't do
fire.
it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be me.
either.
But sometimes people get overexcited in a relationship. I find if somebody is really into you, then maybe they, jumped the gun on some stuff. So maybe
Right.
you might be able to pull this person back
Yeah.
to reality. If not, you gotta run because they're only gonna get worse. Next thing you know, they coming out with a ring, and
You
you're like,
know
wait
it.
a minute, wait, what?
We just started dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
scary. That's scary.
You know, I feel like people and going back to what you said about people being so excited and just jumping ahead. To me, that's a red flag because okay, where's your emotional stability? Where's your emotional discipline?
Yeah.
I mean, you could be into me, but why we got to live together?
Because that means, if you jump in and out like that so quick, maybe you'll be jazzed about me one minute, then the next week you'll be like, this ain't working
over
out.
it.
But we signed a lease.
Right.
So legally, we're
adulting
bonded.
out here.
Yeah.
Like I think people also don't think about that, like the repercussions. Like, people get together, they go and buy houses and stuff. Like, yo,
that is a
you
big
trapped
deal.
in a house.
Yeah.
You can't just get rid of that house.
And say, if you're done, you can't just say, we're done.
Right.
Let's move out.
That's childlike. It's
Yeah.
like, y'all, we got to be adulting out here.
And if a person is that flighty, where they in love with somebody new every couple weeks or months, then what's gonna happen if they come and say, "Okay, I want out of this"?
Right.
Now your credit is jacked up, and I mean
Yeah.
it's a lot to go into moving.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't do it.
It sounds like that person is looking for a helpmate.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
And
help
so-
pay my bill.
Right.
They liked your job. They liked your
Right. What you
whatever
have going
you do
on.
for a
Right.
living,
Yeah.
your benefits.
Yeah.
They like that you
Your
are
responsibility.
Your
right.
stability.
solid.
Stability.
Yeah, your stability.
And that can happen a lot.
It does happen a lot.
Wouldn't be with me.
Woo. Oh wow.
Okay. My suggestion is, honey, run for the hills, honey.
Mama says don't do it.
And you
I thought
heard
she was
Mama.
about to say, "Mama said knock you out."
Yeah.
I was about to say,
Well,
old school."
Well,
Old school.
That
Hits
could be
again.
too. Mama say that could be added. 'Cause
Mama say, "Get out."
And don't come
ain't
back.
doing this. No,
Oh my
Lordy.
God.
No,
I
Lordy.
sure thought she was about to say it.
Me too.
Mama said
Because it's
knock
such
you-
an old school thing to say.
It is.
I thought she was about to say it. But
Oh my gosh.
okay, so we're gonna move on. Let's move on to the next question. Now I'm just gonna let y'all know that this question comes with a little bit of a story, and I feel like I gotta read it out because
Go ahead.
it's quite a tale.
My
And
Lord.
so yeah, woo, it's wild out here in these streets.
I'm
Oh my
strapping
God.
in, baby. Let me get comfortable.
It's wild out here. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Dear Mama,
I'm with him so far. Oh, my bad. You got me on edge, girl. I'm like, what? Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
Mama on the road tonight, y'all.
Okay.
okay. Ooh, keep it together, keep it together. Keep
All
it together.
right.
Okay, here we go. Dear Mama, I went.
Melly, good God Almighty.
your
I'm sorry. I'm scared to hear this.
ain't even that bad now.
Okay.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Let's be professional.
Lord.
Dear Mama, I went on an online date recently. He told me he was 6'2" and that he was an engineer. He showed up to the date 5'5", and I found out he was in between jobs and going to school for engineering. On top of the lies, I still tried, so I stayed, but the conversation was stale. At the end of the dinner, he asked if he could see me again, and I said no, and that I didn't think we had much in common. He seemed upset, but I said okay, and I left. When I got home, I saw a car pull up behind me. And he got out and walked up to my window, asking me why I couldn't give him another chance. It was crazy, and I had to call the police to get him to leave. And now I don't want to date anymore. I don't feel safe out here. What should I do? Because I don't want to end up alone.
Oh my God.
This
Woo!
man
Are you
Wait.
followed her home,
to her home?
got out of his car to her car, banged on the window, and said, "Hey, why can't we
Date.
listen?"
Okay.
First of all, let's start from the jump. Go
Please.
ahead. Wait,
Okay.
I
Right.
just want to make sure we break this one down
Please.
because it's
Okay.
a lot of pieces. First of all, like a lot of these online dating stuff, especially with men, they always lie about their details. So you don't ever know who you gonna meet.
Right.
Okay.
So he first says the lie, he's 6'2" and he's an engineer. He's 5'5" and he's in school to be an engineer and he
In between jobs.
don't have a job.
Okay.
Because
grief.
that's what in between means.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
Okay, so
this is my take.
Okay.
Lord have mercy. First of all, the lying.
Yeah.
To say you're 6'2", and the person is going to clearly see that you're not.
Right.
I mean, even if you had little lifts or something, you can't
You
get
need
nothing
stilts
that
to be
big.
6'2"
You-
from 5'5".
You really would.
You need
I mean,
stilts.
you'd have to be standing on boxes. So that's not. I mean, the lying is outrageous.
The lying, and you know what? A lot of men are always on these things, and they're like, "Well, women want tall men." If that woman wants a tall man, what they got to do with you?
Yeah. So
And when she meets you and you're not a tall man, then what?
then she's
don't understand.
gonna
Then it's
be-
her fault.
She's gonna be deemed
But she
not a good
stayed.
person.
Okay, go ahead, because she stayed on the date.
So the lie, and then to say you're an engineer and you're really not, you're studying, you're in school, you're not even working, and then to follow this woman and make her, and she was honest with him.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate her saying
Yeah.
on the date that, okay, I don't want to go any further, because my suggestion would be this. I wouldn't even tell a person, because I am adamant about not provoking someone, because clearly it's something wrong with you to say you're 6'2" when you're 5'5".
Right.
So I would have never suggested to tell him while I'm still on the date that I don't want to see you anymore. That would have been discussed at a later time. I would never tell somebody that, because I would have been afraid that he would have not taken it well, gotten angry, and may have done something.
So
like
she should have
he
lied
followed.
because
Not
he asked
lie,
her directly.
Just say, I'll get back to you on it. You don't have
That
to
means
lie.
the same thing, Mama. In the dating world, I'm just here to tell you that means the same thing.
Well, then it's going to just have to mean that.
So it's the same. What I'm saying is it doesn't. What you're trying to do is make sure she's not in that position.
I want her
but
safe.
it doesn't take it away.
But
if you
it-
say let's talk about it later,
It
they
might.
still gonna think it's a no.
All it was
right.
great meeting you. I've had a good time. Leave it on a positive note. Don't tell somebody that's 5'5" and he said he was 6'2" that and not working, for him to divulge all of this information. And I would have kept it on an upbeat. I would never tell him everything I'm thinking about him or this date until I got home to a safe place. I just wouldn't do it because I don't trust the reaction of these men. You're vulnerable. You're out here alone, and he followed you. And so that could have went into something. I mean, it could have just, he could have done something to her before the police showed up. So I just would have stayed on the date, kept it as positive as I could, and then when I got home, block them, do whatever you need to do via these apps, these dating apps, and he would have never seen me again in life.
Understand? I just I personally just have been in these types of situations, and I just don't agree, because there was no way for her to know, because from her story, he lied about all this stuff.
He did.
And she still stayed for the date, still tried to get to know him, still, and I understand what she's saying when she says she nicely just told him, I'm not sure we got a lot in common. It wasn't like she was like, you're a liar, and she made some big scene or whatever. He seemed upset, but then he was like, oh, it's okay, and they separated. Nobody in their right mind would assume or think that this man would then follow her home. That is such an outrageous thing. This man is a criminal.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, when I'm asked a direct question, I'm just not gonna lie about it, because there's no way out of it. When somebody asks you direct, because this is how it really goes. They don't just say, oh, you could say, yeah, this was cool, and you try to leave, and then they'll say, well, let's get together again. They want to set something up. They want to do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. Let's, and then they immediately take offense, like, oh, you trying to brush me off, blah, blah, blah. So you're already in that realm. Hold on. You're already in that realm of them being upset. A psychopath is going to be psycho.
Yeah.
No matter how you let them down, no matter what you say to him. I don't care what she said. Even if she said, yeah, let's talk or whatever, he would have still pushed it. He would have been like, oh, let's, you come back to my place, so I can go back to your place. Like, I just feel like this dude was going to follow her no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was nuts.
Yeah.
And so it's just really hard to look at it any other way. And then on top of it, she's saying she don't feel safe anymore.
Right.
On dating in general.
I understand.
And I know what that feels like too, because I've had some crazy experiences, and it is very dangerous out here. No matter what you do, you can make all the right moves, you can say all the right things, and if you're dealing with a nut, it's gonna be crazy, and you can't avoid it with words.
Yeah,
there's nothing perfect to say to them, because
Well,
they always have another follow-up thing.
I think all bets were off when she came in there and saw that he was not 6'2", and she discovered that he was not an engineer.
Yeah.
Okay?
5'9".
So at that point, in my mind, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to tell this crazy dude whatever I got to get out of this as unscathed as possible.
And what would that be?
That would be, we could set up a date. Yeah, let's set up a date.
Yeah,
Let's set up a date.
That's mine.
So that's what I'm saying.
I'm not setting
it would
up no
have to
date.
be the extreme of you lying your butt off. That's
That's
what
okay.
I'm saying.
No, no.
I ain't got no problem with it
all
either.
morality is out.
I will tell
off the
you I'm an
table.
astronaut and going to the moon tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, no.
If it means I'm going to be alive.
You're right.
So what I'm saying is, I believe either you're going to tell him the truth or you lie your butt off, because
I'm not lying my butt off.
that in between ain't gonna work, because they will still believe that it's a no.
Right. Now, you can lie your butt off and then say, okay, when I get home, it's going to be blocked.
Right.
That's
this,
what
and the
I'm
third.
saying. That's
Yeah.
the only thing
That
that
can
totally saves it.
Yeah.
Is if you say, yeah, let's get together next week.
Because when you meet this dude and you realize, oh, man, this is not at all who he said he was going to be.
Exactly.
You are kind of trapped.
You're
are.
trapped. You are.
But what I'm saying is, I don't have to lie. I can just postpone any future plans. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great meeting you. I'm saying I would keep it on a positive level, but just a positive vibe.
Yeah.
Until I get home. And talk to this man online or however we hooked up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go through I'm gonna meet you tomorrow, or I understand what you're saying. That's better to me than telling him to his face right there, no, I don't want to see you anymore. We don't have anything.
She said she didn't. I know what she's saying.
We don't have
She didn't
anything
say
in common.
exactly what she said, but she just said, I just don't know if we, match well. I don't think we got enough in common, blah, 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 whatever.
'Cause
like,
he's nuts.
I have said that, and it been fine. People say that to each other on dates all the time. Understand that she was dealing with a psycho.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
So
nuts.
anybody else, that would have been fine.
Right.
They might get, a little testy, like, okay, well, whatever. They try to act like it don't matter,
Right.
and it's done.
Yeah.
But this is such a specifically different situation.
It is.
Because I have told people
Nuts.
many a times that I don't think we hit it off like that. And they try to cover it with like, yeah, it's all good, blah blah blah, and we're done. But that's a regular human being. What I'm saying is there is only one way out of a psycho date.
Yeah.
And that is say whatever you got to say. So they
Safely.
think that everything is
It's
cool.
all good.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
that's
you
a lie.
both-
Those are lies you
Yeah.
telling.
Whatever.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm just
Lie
saying
through your teeth.
you need to lie.
Yeah.
You need when you're dealing with a regular person and a day don't go well, you can say what she said.
Right.
And be fine.
Yeah.
But when she walked in and saw this man was 5'5" and he ain't have a job and all of this shit, red flag, red flag, red
Why
flag.
would
So
he
now
even
you
tell
know
her all
you,
this?
and then for me, what I really would have done is I would have sat down, texted a friend under the table to call me for an emergency.
Yeah,
And then she
something.
called me and I get up, hey girl,
Right.
What?
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
Here I come.
That's
you
when
get out
you
of
get
there.
up and go to the
And you
powder room.
get out of there.
Excuse, let me go to the restroom
Yeah.
real quick. You make your call.
No, you
said-
leave. You
Yeah.
say, listen,
Yeah.
I gotta go. It's an emergency.
That's a good idea too.
Well, you go to the powder room. Ma'am,
to
can
get
you
up-
please call
No,
me
I
in the
just
next
do it
30
under the
minutes.
table. I'm just
Or-
saying, it's a quick text under the table.
It's also good.
Let
because
people
he
know you
wouldn't have
going
been
out.
able to follow you if you got up,
and went somewhere
went
else.
said I gotta go to the restroom and never come back.
Right.
I would do that.
That's what I
too.
would have
You
done
can,
too.
that's another. But what I'm saying is, there needs to be something in place.
You gotta think
an
quick.
escape strategy. What I do is,
Yeah.
I tell somebody I'm going out. Anytime I go
Yeah.
out,
Oh, you better
I
let
tell somebody
somebody
I'm
know.
going out. I send them where I'm gonna be at and all of that.
You can
Let
get a
them know.
picture of the person.
So all
That's
I gotta
right.
do is text 911 to them, and they already know what's up.
Yeah.
Call me, find out where I'm at, do something.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would have been a long walk.
And
to
I
the
know it's
restroom.
not as
Baby.
romantic as the movies make it out to be, but dating is not romantic.
It is not.
Dating is a sport.
It is.
And you have to be
wait.
in shape
Yes, you do.
and coach.
Make a run
Yes,
for
you
it.
do.
Okay?
Yes,
You
you
got
do.
to be ready for this.
Yes, you do.
And as far as her getting back
God
into
Almighty.
dating, I would say just take your time. I would
Yes.
say stop with the online stuff though.
Oh, my God.
Just take a full stop and break on that because you're not gonna feel comfortable for a while with
Bless
something
her
like
heart.
that, if ever. Because when stuff like this happens, you kind of done with the online thing.
Yeah,
You followed me home?
Yes.
But so try to just take it slow. Meet people out in real life for a while, and if you meet somebody that gives you a good vibe, I believe you will feel comfortable in going somewhere with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have something in place. You gotta let people know where you at, and have something in place for when you. And actually,
Ooh, that's
on
sick.
dates, a lot of times, I won't go straight home.
Yeah. That's a good thing. That's a good one too.
I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to the
Right.
store or something. Anything. And I look around.
Yeah.
You gotta really be careful.
I am
And-
very.
wait a
I
minute.
don't trust
So,
nobody,
you know what?
y'all.
That's my
I be
thing
so
because-
paranoid.
Me too. When I drive just on a random Tuesday, I make sure to follow my surroundings.
Yeah.
I'm going to notice if that car has been behind
That's right.
me.
Right.
The
The
whole
whole
way
time?
home. I know I
yeah.
would.
I check.
Wait a minute.
I
Okay,
check.
so I'm about to make this turn. I don't normally turn.
Right.
I'm about to do something
Some
else and
side,
deviate.
go down some short side
Yeah.
street. Do
Yeah.
a circle.
Yes. Seriously.
Do
I'm
a
praying
circle
about.
around the corner. That's right.
For real. I would say.
I've done it.
Me and you both.
Yeah.
Even coming home, like, oh, that looks like the same car that's been behind me this whole time. Let me
Yeah.
go. Let me get off another stop.
Let me
No,
just
Lord.
see.
Let me see what's going on. Where you
Because I ain't
turning at?
going straight back home.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You
I've
won't know
never
where
done
I'm
that.
going.
I
That's-
always go somewhere
That's spooky. baby.
lit.
Yeah.
Someplace
Crowded.
really lit.
I would really take a break on online dating after something like
Baby,
that.
I would
think
probably
Give
never.
yourself a
Definitely
break,
never.
sweetheart. And
Wow.
So, I would
This
say.
fool came up to her
house, into
window.
the window.
No,
window.
her car door window.
Oh, no.
I can't get over
Oh,
it.
no,
and
no, no.
then, I mean,
That's
she
crazy.
could have been concealed carry and just shot him.
She could have.
Yeah.
He could have died.
Yeah.
Or the worst was if she had gotten out of the car before she found out he had followed her.
My
Then
God.
he could have attacked her.
He could have.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
And I've heard of stories like
Me
this.
too. I have.
Me
Even
too.
with
Me
older
too.
people. I heard an older woman online where she broke up with the guy and he got so angry. He literally stabbed this lady. I don't know how many times.
God.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
died, but she lived.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
he got put in jail, but I mean, he was nuts. And it always seems to be a person that is a liar.
Yeah.
He lied about his job to her friends,
See that?
and when it's a one lie around that corner, it's
It's
probably
another
another.
one. That's a nutball.
Yeah,
See, it's
So-
and the thing is, and the
Yes.
thing I resent
Stabbed
about it
that poor
is
woman.
that
My
these
God.
men are like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be so what's the word I'm looking for? You shouldn't be looking at the height of a dude and the looks of it.
Shallow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? As ugly as these dudes out here be and think they deserve a Beyonce.
Well, my whole thing is,
Everybody-
what are they
they
trying to call
be
it?
basic,
Shallow?
shallow,
you're being
like
shallow.
somebody having a preference of
You
what
can
they're
have a preference.
physically attracted to,
right.
is not wrong.
No,
Okay,
it isn't.
so are you
It
being
isn't.
shallow, sir,
Because
by
you
having
wouldn't
your
want
preference?
exactly.
Right.
Because if
They
you want
have 'em.
some girl that's
Of
thick
course.
and you know
Big
y'all
booty
describing
and
her
little
like this
waist.
and
Right.
long hair and all of this,
Yeah.
but we can't do the same.
on now.
Yeah,
and
you
if we showed up and we weren't who we said we were, y'all would laugh us out the club.
Sure
Well,
would.
they probably
it would
would
go
just
a totally
leave.
different way. Yeah, they
But
would leave
women,
in front of
we
your
don't
face.
really do. I don't really see nobody
Yeah.
doing that.
No.
Like women don't do it because what's the point?
Right.
Like it's just so ridiculous. I would never lie about anything physically because what is the point? We're gonna go out on the stage.
They're
You're
gonna
see
see you.
And, exactly. And so
It
that's
never
my point.
crosses
So
my
what-
mind.
what's the point?
I don't know.
And then to try to make it seem like it's her fault that
Right.
she don't like me because
Come
she just
on now.
shallow.
And if you're
You're a
5'5", that's okay.
Be 5'5".
You
I mean,
5'5",
I'm
but
gonna
be
find out
honest.
that you're 5'5" anyway.
Right. Be honest about that.
Right.
Give that person maybe height doesn't matter, but if they specifically said 6'2" and up, then why would you
Or
try
just
to even
tall
go for that
in
person?
general. You're short.
Right.
You 5'5", you're short.
Yes.
For
I
a
mean,
man,
if
right.
you're 5'9" or 5'11", that's better than 5'5".
Right.
You know, so it's just like,
Be
I mean,
honest.
for me, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I will admit that, all my exes was 6'1" and up. That's just. I
That's
like
your
a tall
preference.
guy.
Yes.
I do. But I've gone out with guys that were 5'9", 5'11",
You can't-
but
I
I'm
mean-
not doing 5'7".
Right.
I ain't doing 5'5". I'm 5'5". You can't
Right.
be my height.
Right.
No, it's just something I just
You
don't
don't
like it.
And that's totally fine.
What about the guys
Right.
who want a big girl
Right.
or a skinny girl,
Right.
anorexic looking chick?
Eh.
Is it my?
That's their
then-
right.
Everybody
Then you
has a
can't
right to
be
their
with
preference.
me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And
I'm
are you gonna
fine
be
with
mad
that.
about that?
No, I want to be with somebody that's
Wants
physically
to be-
attracted to
Come
me.
Right.
on now.
And everybody has a right to their own attraction. That's it. It's nothing
right.
wrong with
Nothing
it.
wrong
That's
with
right.
You might want somebody dark as that skillet we fry chicken in.
My.
Oh my goodness.
You might.
Hey,
I mean,
I take any
think it's a
shade of black
beautiful,
now.
I
I
mean,
will
good in
take
that,
any
'cause
shade
I like
of black.
that
It's a
skillet
little
black.
that frying pan blue black.
Oh man.
It's,
I
it's
don't
a
care.
beautiful
That
thing.
does
Yeah.
It's
not
smooth.
affect me.
I mean, come on, but that
Wow.
may be your preference.
Can't see you in the dark.
There you go.
Good
Hey.
grief.
Are those eyes I'm looking at?
Wow.
That's all you can see.
Oh, that's a wonder.
So-
Praise the Lord.
But yeah, I think online dating is scary business.
It is.
It's
Oh
not for
yeah,
me.
baby.
It's not for me.
It is not for the faint of heart.
Just be careful.
It's just not for me.
be
What I
careful.
would say, a pointer would be, if you don't want to do online dating, then I heard someone say this: go to places that you don't normally go.
Yeah.
That's opening
Try to
you
meet
up
new
to a
people.
different
Yeah.
group of people
In
and
person.
Maybe, yeah.
And I
in the
think
real
that's
world.
nice.
I love meeting people in the real world.
Yeah.
And I love meeting a guy that has like the confidence to walk up to me and say hello.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's very attractive.
It is.
Yeah. Why do we think that there is such why do we think that people are so unable, a lot of times men, unable to handle rejection properly?
They're just cowards.
It's sad.
It's a character trait. Because a man, to me, in my mind, a real man can walk up to a woman and see if they like them or not, and deal with whether or not they
If
do
they
or
don't,
not,
okay.
and be able to
It's
be
so
like, okay, well,
long.
you have a nice day, and it's cool. Because anything less, that's a boy.
Right.
Because
Well,
little boys get their feelings hurt real
Well,
quick.
Yeah.
some people
But
just have a
men,
problem.
grown men, no, that shouldn't affect you that way. Because it wouldn't affect me that way, and I'm a grown woman.
Yeah, but it's some men it's a lot of men that have
Yeah.
problem with rejection.
That's cowardice, though.
I don't.
To me, that means you a coward.
I think it's
it's
awful.
definitely-
I mean,
sorry.
because what's the worst that
It's
can
not
happen?
that big a deal.
A no is a no.
There's
Okay,
like
you're not gonna
millions of
die.
people in the
Right.
world.
Just move
It's
on.
millions of people in this city.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's so small.
Yeah.
To care about one experience.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. You're putting too much
one
into
person.
that. If they
it's a
say they're
moment
not
in time.
interested, then okay, it was nice meeting you. Move on.
Right.
It's no big deal at all.
Okay, Lamar, let's get to your question.
Good luck to the
Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luck to
Be
her.
safe.
Take your time.
Please do. So this is a question from an older woman, and she says, "I'm an older woman, and I'm on a quest to stay as youthful as possible.
All right.
Any suggestions?"
I would suggest do whatever makes you feel good. Stay active. You know, you may not want to go to a health club, then go on a daily walk. But please be mobile.
Yeah.
And whatever brings you joy, whatever that is, steppers sets. You know, some people like stepping, skating, playing spades with a group of friends, going out to shows with friends. I mean, be active and have it bring you joy. That's what I would suggest. It's what I do.
And you look fabulous,
Thank
by the
you,
way.
baby.
Right. That's
I'm
right.
telling you, got it going on.
All right,
Yeah.
baby.
I think staying active. I think good healthy food has a lot to do with your energy levels as you get older, and just understanding that, you know, make plans. Plan trips, do things you always wanted to do. Make a list, write stuff down, like that bucket list stuff. That's real. You can do those
That's
things.
right.
Like take advantage of the time you have, because maybe your kids are grown now, and you know, take that cruise or that trip, whatever it is, because you know what it is. It's like in the back of your head, like, man, I wish I could do that. You can.
Yeah.
You should. Go.
Yeah, I heard someone say something very recently about when you think of something and you say in your mind automatically, I can't, you should follow it with, I must.
My Lord.
Right? So I think that taking out, I'm too old to do. Take that out of your vocabulary.
Right.
There's
Right,
no
right.
such thing. You
That's
can do
right.
whatever it is you set your mind to, and it's never too late to
Never
try a
too
new
late.
adventure.
Yeah.
I think being a lifelong learner, having new adventures, change of scenery, even if you say, okay, you know, I'm going to move across town and see how that is to live in this neighborhood. Or, you know, like you said, healthy eating, exercise,
Right.
different experiences, do things you never done before.
Right.
I think the sky is the limit, and I think that as long as you have breath in your life, you should live it to the utmost.
I think
To the
society
fullest, yes.
has really taken this whole age thing into a really negative place. Like, once you're 25, that's it for you. Like, I mean,
That's
no,
insane.
it's once you're dead.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
because I know an 80-year-old man that goes for a run every day. Okay? He
Right.
looks great. He's energetic. He says good morning to me every morning.
Oh.
And I mean, he's got to be like 80 or 70, late 70s at the most.
And doing his thing.
That's
his
right.
thing, living his life. And
Enjoy
I mean, he
your
be
life.
gone. I
Go
had
ahead.
to catch up with him. I'm like, now I'm not gonna be beaten by this old man.
He might do it.
I got to catch up with you. Sure, you can't pass me up. Oh my good God. So I'm like, so I look at that and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want for the rest of my life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Period.
That's right.
Because
That's
people
right.
love to tell you, oh, it's too late for this and it's too late for that.
Do it.
I mean, skip all that.
And
Right.
people are gonna tell you, but don't tell yourself.
Yeah,
That's right.
Because they the ones sitting at home not doing nothing.
Miserable.
Wasting away.
Come
That's
on.
And
right.
telling you what you can't do.
Right.
Yep. You
From the couch.
don't listen to that. Do it, and whatever brings you pleasure, do that.
This podcast was something people told me that we couldn't do.
Right.
That we couldn't pull off.
right.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a few years. Been talking with Mom about it, talking with you. It was something that was just something we talked about. And I knew we all wanted to do it, but it was like, man, we just got to pull the trigger on this thing and do it. And
Do
people
it.
are like, it's really hard to start a podcast. Yeah, but if that's your intention, that's your intention. We want to do this, so that's the only reason we're doing it.
That's right.
When you have made up your mind that you are going to do something, you are already successful.
That's right.
So anything that comes after that is just an added bonus.
That's right.
People
Say
live
it,
their
baby.
lives in fear. I don't want to do this. I don't want, because what's going to happen?
What are they going to
Right.
think about it if it's not successful?
Okay,
What are they going to think about?
Exactly.
Who
Right.
are
But
these
then-
people?
Okay, so you have that now, but then that's going to translate into regret later.
That's right.
Exactly.
And one of the things that my mother raised me on that I tried to deliver to my kids, don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah.
You live your best self. Live your best. Don't worry about what they would, because everybody has an opinion. We've discussed that at a previous
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
we did.
And who cares what their opinion is? If you're living your best life and what you feel you're called to do,
Right.
don't worry about what somebody else thinks. Why should you care?
Right.
Because a lot of people aren't living their best life. Just to
Right.
be clear. Like a lot of people are sitting at home full of regret.
Oh,
They're
yes.
full of regret and they're sitting there looking at you do things, whatever you want to do, all of the things.
Yes,
And
yes.
they're watching you like,
There it is.
enough to, they'll pick up the phone and be like, what you doing? I saw you do this, that, and the third. And I'm looking at the phone like, well, what business is it of yours? I feel like Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
are you talking to me?
Exactly.
Don't care.
Like, no. And I look at my life like I have
Yes.
traveled the world.
That's right.
I've traveled the world. I've been on stages you could not imagine or dream. And people still be wondering how I got that, how I did this, because I decided I was going to try.
That's it. That's it. What helped me the most in my life when it finally clicked was that I'm gonna be 15 years dead and gone in my grave, and somebody is gonna still have an opinion about anything and everything that I've ever done in my
That's
life.
right.
Right.
And
So why am I worried about what you think? And I got life, and I'm alive.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I'm not about to, because this time goes quick.
It
Yeah.
does.
It does.
Yeah.
And older people used to always say, "Wow, time don't
Flew
wait on
by.
nobody."
No,
right?
it doesn't.
And it's
And
not promised.
It
That's
is
right.
not. So I'm gonna live every day
Live it.
like it's my last. Why not?
And if people can't add positive, you don't need it.
No, you don't.
Because I'm going to try to add positivity to people I'm around.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to talk to somebody, I'm going to try to add to their life, not take away.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just say this. Some people are really good at it. I didn't know this was a gift that I had until I got older, but I'm really good at subtracting people, negative people from my life. I'm really good when the math ain't mathing. I'm really good at looking at them numbers and being like, no, not you, not you,
I'm
not
over
you.
budget.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go.
You gotta go.
I don't have no problem with it. And I think, and it's such a plus for me. It's been such a plus in my life because it's never held me back. People don't hold me back.
It catapults you forward.
That's right.
When you realize, wait a minute, I've removed this person out of my life and now things are working for my greater good.
That's right.
Maybe it has something to do with the person that was in my life.
All of that negativity is transferred.
Yeah.
Just like positivity. If you have negative people surrounding your life, it's just going to keep bouncing off you.
Right.
If you have positive people surrounding your life,
It'll do the same.
Exactly.
That's
And
right.
so that's what a wonderful life that you're living now.
Yeah. What a wonderful life you're living now.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Look at us.
What a
I
wonderful life
appreciate
you're
I
living
am
now.
surrounded
Thank you,
by
baby.
positivity
You're welcome. Yes.
I love
right
it.
now in this moment.
Right now. And I choose to live every day positively. I don't wake up always positive. Oh,
Right.
Chipper, let's see
Yeah,
today.
that's
but
not
I
real.
make the
Right.
decision
That's right.
because I love putting it out because I love getting it back.
That's right.
And when I put it out, I'm like, oh, wow,
You
everyone's so
Get what you
pleasant.
give, you get what you give.
That's right,
right.
because reaping what you sow means that if you reap good, you'll get good. My mom used to always say, if you do good, good will follow you.
My mind.
And that's how I live my life. I try to do good and definitely not evil and mean to people
That's right. 'Cause
and wish mean upon people.
Yeah.
That's just not the spirit God put in me. Thank the Lord.
thank the Lord. And you might be the only shimmer of light a person has in their life. At
Right.
that
Right.
moment.
Right.
That's right.
So
That's right.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wait until I don't know if y'all can hear that, but we are in Chicago, so there are sirens
Right.
in the background. You probably can't hear. I don't know if you can, but that's it for our questions for this week. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna get started with our recommendations. I hope you enjoyed the questions. Once again, if you want to ask Mama a question next week, next Wednesday for our next episode, please be sure to follow us on Instagram and DM us your questions from there, and we will add you to the list. Okay, so let's start off with Black-owned businesses. I'm going to spotlight Dat Donut.
Oh, Lord.
See, people in Chicago right now on the South Side, you know about Dat Donut and not that donut.
It's that.
It's Dat Donut, okay?
Yes.
And it is an amazing donut shop.
It is.
They have these buttermilk donuts.
Buttermilk.
You can only eat like 2. If you try to eat 3, you're gonna get sick. But and I tell you, it is so delicious. And then you combine that with a glazed.
My
oh
Lord.
my
Oh
goodness.
my God.
God.
Do they put glaze on the buttermilk?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Lord. What kind of glaze is it?
Oh, it's
Just
the glaze like from a
glaze.
glazed donut.
Dang.
On top of the. Let me tell
Oh,
you.
my.
But anyway,
It's
that
good.
donut is
Good
at
eating.
8251 South Cottage Grove. It's on the south side.
Got to go.
You can thank me later. Because yes, and it is black owned. So,
Amen.
Mama, what's your business?
My business is called Brown Sugar Bakery.
Oh,
You know we can make some sweets.
yeah.
And it's at 328 East 75th Street. Just delicious. It's black owned. Just a beautiful little business.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
My business is Luella's Southern Kitchen. It is at 4609 North Lincoln Avenue in Chicago. And I do believe that is the Lincoln Square neighborhood, if I have that correct.
Okay.
And they have some really, really good food. They've been in business for at least about 10 years now, I would say.
All
So
right.
they've been doing really strong, going really strong. And I don't know if they have 2 locations, but I definitely know this is the flagship. So check them out.
All right.
So yeah.
That sounds
Spotlight, great spotlight for our Black-owned businesses, we always need to support one another, especially economically. That's one of the biggest things that we can do for one another is to, if we're going to spend money, you're going to spend the money. So why not spend it with your people and support your community? And so now let's do some recommendations for TV/movies. So I am going to recommend a show on Netflix called The Lincoln Lawyer. And it's based on a novel by Michael Connelly. I read the novel, so when they did this show, I was like, man, I hope it's as good as the book, because the book is really great. And the show has 2 seasons now on Netflix, and they are definitely binge-worthy. You will be trying to figure out what is going on the entire time, and the lawyer, the guy that plays the lawyer, is really outstanding. And yeah, I just watched both seasons like back to back. It was really good. So a really good binge-worthy show if you're looking for something to just get into on Netflix. Mama?
That sounds good. My recommendation is something called Married to Real Estate. It
Oh my
is
God.
the cutest couple doing this. Their name is Egypt Sherrod and Michael Jackson. Not my Michael, of course.
Of course.
But it's with HGTV.
Oh.
They are the most adorable
It's
couple.
a reality show.
It's like a rehab. They go in and they get you a property, and they go in if you want like a wall knocked out. I want my kitchen extended bigger. I want a basement. It's nothing down there. They do the most magnificent job I've ever seen. They are so creative, and they're husband and wife, and they work so beautifully together. I just adore them.
Aww.
It is the cutest couple. I mean, to be honest, I'm looking for somebody like him for.
Oh my God.
Married.
Anyway,
it's
Lamar, what's your
want-
recommendation? We're not
And then
doing
they
this
can
here.
rehab houses together.
I am not rehabbing no
Ain't
houses.
y'all
I want.
cute.
He is so adorable and sweet with his little family. That's the
Michael
son-in-law I want.
Michael and Melly.
Not this dude.
Well, not-
I
we
mean,
can't
it
take
could be
him-
another Michael.
I ain't
Yeah.
no home record.
No,
No,
we're not
not
trying to
him.
take him.
Jesus
But I
Christ.
would like a son-in-law like this man.
All right.
His name
He's
might be Michael
adorable.
Smith or something.
He's
I don't-
adorable.
yeah,
He's
okay.
just sweet.
Cute.
Sweet
Lamar,
man.
what's your recommendation? Jesus Christ.
So my recommendation is a limited series on Netflix. It is called American Nightmare. It was baby. Did you see it?
I almost. Oh
Okay.
boy, that was almost my recommendation, but I was like, I can't.
American
Listen,
Nightmare.
Mama.
Yes.
Is it
Go ahead.
scary?
No, let him go ahead. Let him
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, it's 3 episodes. I watched it all.
It's a
I had to
documentary.
sit- yeah, it's a documentary. It's real. It really happened.
Oh, Lord.
And-
Oh, my God.
I had to sit there like my mouth was open the
real?
whole
Let me
time.
just say this.
Go ahead.
Let me just say, first
Go
of all,
ahead.
I concur with your recommendation. I throw mine out and concur with yours. That's how much I concur with
Why
this.
nobody told me?
I told you about. See, this is what I'm talking about. America, as Bernie Mac would say.
Ooh-wee.
I told you about this show. Remember I said I am watching something that has put me down a rabbit hole that I
okay.
cannot escape.
Yes.
And I told you about the show. But anyway, I just want to
Did
say.
you finish the whole thing?
Yes.
What
Okay,
network
me
is
too.
this?
It's on
Netflix.
Netflix.
So let me
Netflix.
just say this.
Okay, go
Let me
ahead.
say this.
Go ahead.
If this can happen to a white couple in America,
American
In
Nightmare.
California.
Black people, we have no chance.
Nope.
I don't think we should ever call 911
Ever.
because if this can happen to
no.
2 young, white,
Wealthy.
blonde, wealthy
What they do to
people,
them,
we can't
baby.
tell you
We
we're
can't
not
tell
doing
you,
that.
Mama. You gotta just
go through this
see it,
yourself.
baby.
But
You gotta
let
go
me
on a roller
tell y'all
coaster.
something. When I
It's
saw
rough.
this whole thing, I was
Is
like,
it?
this is
Believable. Isn't it?
And but it really takes the cake because it
American
shows you
Nightmare.
how powerful the police are
Oh.
and how
FBI
they
is
cannot
included,
be
too.
touched. Like
Right.
the lengths you have to go to get them in front of a judge,
Oh my
to get
God.
them to have accountability.
It's like
It's so hard. They have their union and their
Yep.
whole thing set up in a way that it is a miracle that anybody ever. It's a miracle that the George Floyd case turned out had did.
Wow.
Because they are almost impenetrable.
Yeah.
And that is what's on display. For me, that's the underlining thing.
Oh,
that's
is it
on display.
Oh, is it underlining?
Well, I mean,
it's pretty much in your face.
It's in your face.
Is
But
it?
we're
Oh, yeah.
recommending this full blown 100%.
American Nightmare.
You need to watch this.
110%. You definitely need to watch.
And it's like top 10
Watch.
things
It
to
was
watch on
like
Netflix.
number one.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worthy to be
Oh
number one.
my good God.
Because it is a
It gave
roller
me a
coaster.
nightmare. I
It
had
did.
nightmares.
I'm telling you,
I
I
was
had
like,
my
oh.
mouth was open the whole from
Oh.
the first 5 minutes. I
It
was
was
like,
unbelievable.
what?
I couldn't believe it.
Me either.
The twist and turn.
Isn't it? And it's a classic whodunit.
Yes,
Right?
but it's
But it's
3
real.
episodes, but they're long
They're
because
long.
it's
They're like an hour, like
documentary.
40
yeah,
some hours.
they're like an hour long
Yeah.
each of them. But I mean, you be like,
Whoa. It was creepy.
it was.
It was creepy. It
and
did
it was
give me goosebumps.
terrifying
It
to
was.
know how easy it is for something like that to happen to you.
Yes.
This sounds like
But
it needs a
it's not-
support number at the end.
It kind of does.
Somebody you should
Because
be able to call.
but it's not
I think they
creepy
might-
in the way
It's
that
not,
you would
no, it's
think
not like a
that it
scary
is.
movie.
Right.
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary, and
about
it's-
something that happened.
I mean, but
to
it
some
is-
real people.
It gives you. It's gonna make your hair stand up.
Oh,
for sure.
Lord.
Yeah.
And
But-
it's gonna have you in disbelief.
You are.
You're gonna be like, wow.
Well,
I
I'll
felt so
I'm gonna
bad.
be watching. I'm
I
gonna watch
felt
this.
so bad for them
I was
people.
angry.
I was so disgusted
Me
and
too.
angry at the end. I
Me
was like,
too.
you know what? I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's move on to
Yeah.
books.
Okay.
Good God.
Something nice and easy.
Yeah.
My God.
The book I'm going to recommend is a book called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And David Goggins was a Navy SEAL. And when I tell you this man, if you don't know who he is, just look him up because his story is outstanding. You talk about perseverance. You talk about getting through hardships in life from childhood to becoming a man to trying to become a Navy SEAL to everything he's done in his life. He just has one of the most powerful stories I've ever read, and also the things he tells you all the things he learned going through all that, and you realize that when you go through all of the struggle, how each thing makes you stronger. Each thing he went through made him stronger for the next thing that was coming. And so he was always ready to fight back. And that's why it's called Can't Hurt Me. Because can't nothing hurt this man. He's coming. I'm coming. And I mean, I read this and was like, you doggone right.
That's right.
Let's go. Like, I mean, I was fully motivated reading this book, and I got it on Audible too, because sometimes I listen to it. And it's just a really great story, powerful story. And he's a powerful human being. He's done a lot of interviews, so if you want to look him up, David Goggins. He's a great individual. He's got something special. He does not give up. And he's been through hell and back.
Wow.
So that's my book recommendation. Mama, what's yours?
Mine is called Legs Are the Last to Go by Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll.
This is her own autobiography. It is just beautiful to read her life, how she experienced it. And, of course, I loved her.
Yeah.
She's one of the most beautiful people I'd ever seen as a child. She was on TV. She's like my first black actress on TV that I remember. And she had a doll. I had her doll when I was a little girl. Aww. And she, in this book, is just beautiful. And she's trying to say her legs were so beautiful, and she was known for her beautiful legs, that those with age they're the last things to go. That's her testimony. I'm sure some women will be like, my legs been gone.
Oh my God.
Hers,
Wow.
that's her testimony.
Yikes.
But anyway, that's my book. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to say no shade after you say something like
Bless
that. Wow.
Oh.
Okay, what's your book, Lamar?
Okay, so my book is called I Dream of I Dream of a World by Brian Lanker. Portraits of Black Women Who Changed America.
Oh, right.
And this book is literally a book full of portraits of different Black women who made profound change in this country. And they have autobiographies, like little snippets.
Oh,
that's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, so it's a really, really interesting
check that
read.
out.
Check it out.
All
It's awesome.
right.
Very inspirational.
Nice.
All right. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do music.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend you check out a song by a band called Mute Math. And they're no longer together because the drummer left. And once the drummer left, that was pretty much it for me because he was outstanding. And then the singer was outstanding. They were like the core of the band. And then the drummer left, so now it's not the same. But they wrote this beautiful gem called You Are Mine. And I'm telling you, any smooth playlist you got going, throw this one on. It will fit like a glove. It's a jam.
Right.
All right. Mama?
Well, my music, this is not a shameless plug, but my music is called Baby You
Oh, my God.
on Spotify
Jesus Christ.
by Melody Angel.
Wow.
The one and only Grammy award winning. Okay?
I mean-
EGOT.
Well, we're
I ain't won nothing.
we're believing God.
That's
Oh,
right.
my
But
God.
when I
Y'all.
tell you this song, Baby You, check it out on Spotify.
Wow.
It is a total jam.
It's going to make your hips
I
swing.
did not make her say that.
She did not. She didn't know. This is my
Jeez.
music list.
Oh, wow.
Well,
well, thanks,
it is
Mama.
a great song. It will get you going,
Hey,
baby.
all right.
You know it is.
right.
Hey,
You
well,
know what's
hey,
gonna do
I mean,
it.
I love my stuff now.
I can hear it in my head. It just makes
Uh-huh.
you do it, baby.
Go ahead.
Yes.
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 Oh my God,
Baby,
live
you
performance. I love that.
It's awesome.
Okay. Lamar, what's your music?
Okay, so my song, when I am feeling like just wonderful, or when I'm feeling down, or when something happens to me, you know, when you walk through this country sometimes as a person of color, you know, there's prejudice lurking around every corner. So what'll put me right back on track and make me feel so good about myself is Esperanza Spalding, Black Gold
Oh,
is the
nice.
name of the song. It is an
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful song.
Yeah, it is.
And take a listen. And
All
check it
right
out.
now.
All right. Yeah, we giving y'all some good recommendations. Give us a thumbs up if you like our recommendations. We put a lot of thought
Right.
into these, try to give y'all some good stuff to look into. And now we're going to end the show with 5 minutes of trash.
Uh-oh.
All right.
They got the garbage.
We never really get it in the 5 minutes, but we're going to really try. Or maybe not. I don't know. But so I want to talk a little bit about the Oscars because there's been some talk about the Oscar nominations, specifically the Barbie movie. And the fact that Ryan Gosling, who played Ken, is the only one who got nominated. And the lady who played Barbie and the lady who wrote the film, directed the film,
Right.
didn't get nominated. And so they're like, and the Barbie movie is about feminism.
Right.
And so for the guy to be the only one to get nominated, they're all coming out talking about how, you know, it's a big diss to them and, you know, this is exactly what they were talking about in their film. But
Right.
my thing is this. So I saw on TikTok, I didn't really think nothing of it because I didn't see Barbie. It just wasn't something I wanted to go watch, so I never saw it. But this black woman on TikTok said, you know, she said she was done with the outrage of white women over this movie, over this Oscar disc, because where was their outrage for Angela Bassett for Wakanda not getting she didn't get nominated. She didn't get the award for Wakanda. And then where was their outrage for Viola Davis for Woman King? Which were two black women who gave incredible performances and didn't get any awards for that. And what they're saying is they're speaking about white women wanting black women to come out and talk about this Barbie thing, but they're never the ones talking about us when we're the ones. It's not
reciprocated, right?
Yeah, it's not reciprocated, but we're all supposed to be so outraged. I'm not outraged. I don't really care. It's par for the course for me. Like, when we rarely get what we deserve.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we do, it's considered, well, you're the black person that they're going to allow in this year. You know, it's kind of like you're the token black.
The token.
As opposed to you did great work and you are going to be rewarded for that great work.
Right.
It's always attached to our blackness. So why do I have to push some outrage for Barbie when y'all got all this money to do the film and you made all this money off the film? And now you're mad because you're not getting an award and I'm supposed to, put up signs and picket? And,
right.
I mean, are you crazy?
Right. Well, and I didn't see the Barbie movie either.
Neither did I.
It just wasn't, like you said, something that I wanted to see. I wasn't
I
interested.
didn't see it.
And they threw Issa in there thinking that it would bring us
Diversify,
out. Like,
yeah.
let's make her one of the black Barbies, and then
She was a doll too.
yeah, she was in there. But but that's
My
not
God.
that's not. I don't want to.
I still wasn't
not
interested.
No.
I'm not interested in that.
No.
But and I'm fine with what they're saying. But don't ask me to come into your outrage. I'm not going to join into your outrage because you never join into mine.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
And not just about movies. Beyond that, you don't do it at the polls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your ally because you only want me when I can help you.
And it's beneficial.
But when you go vote, you vote against my interests all the time.
Lord have mercy.
So I just feel like it's fine if you are a white woman and you feel outraged about this situation. I think there is misogyny going on, obviously.
Absolutely.
For Ken to be the only one to get nominated for an award, they're blatantly doing it. But that's the world you live in. But we also live with misogyny, and then we have to tack on racism
Yeah.
to the
experienced it
sexism.
every single day of my life.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
it's just like I'm just not.
Yep.
I don't have the energy to
Yeah.
fight your battles too.
Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
much. We're already at war every day, fighting what we do, just being
And
black.
who we are.
So
and there's so many levels to it. And there's so much that we deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So no, we don't want to take space and time and energy out of our day, out of our struggle. For your little tiny struggle that ain't even really a struggle.
I'm not.
And
I'm not giving that flame like that.
I'm not up in arms over a doll.
no,
I just
I'm not
It's
taking
a movie
over the Barbie
because
movie.
I'm just what I'm saying is if you break it all the way down, you are white, you're a woman. They gave you millions of dollars to green light a movie that you were able to make, and it made more than nearly every movie that year. I think it made the most the most money in 2023.
Well,
So you had a amazing success. You reaped the benefits of that monetarily and professionally.
Yeah.
And now that you're not winning some other prize, everybody's
You should
supposed to be outraged.
So could it just be a situation where Ryan Gosling was the only one that was worthy of an Oscar nomination?
I mean, who's
I
to
don't
say?
know, 'cause
He's
I
a
didn't
great
see the
actor.
movie. I mean, you know,
can see him
Yeah.
getting nominated
Yeah.
for something. And then he got nominated for a supporting role. It's not
I
like he
didn't
got
see it.
nominated for lead.
Right.
He wasn't the lead. And And so at the end of the day, we're just kind of picking at it. But I'm like, yeah, did they probably deserve to get nominated? Sure, because their movie was out and everybody seemed to love it.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but I know that people really enjoyed this movie.
Got rave
and
reviews.
so
Yeah.
should it have been nominated? Probably. I'm not saying it shouldn't have, and you shouldn't be upset about it. But I think that if you're not going to speak up for women in general,
Period.
and that means all women, that means women of color and white women.
That's what I'm
then
for.
I'm
All
not.
of
I don't
us.
want to hear
Subscribe,
it
yeah.
because you didn't do it for Angela Bassett and you didn't do it for Viola Davis.
And countless others.
And countless
Yeah.
others. That's just the immediate ones I can think of. But countless other women who have gone unnoticed.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that from y'all.
Right.
What I want to hear is when you speak the word feminism, that's supposed to be about all women.
All women.
Not
That's
just
right.
you,
Right.
Karen. And that's I think that's what the black woman on TikTok, the black women on TikTok, because I saw several videos discussing this, and like I'm not outraged by this. I don't have space
We
for
have
this. We got
such
so much
bigger
more. We
fish
got
to fry,
yeah, we got
honey.
so much
Certainly
more
do.
going on, and for you not to know that and be looking at us like,
Where are you?
where
Why are you
we?
backing
Why
us?
are you not saying anything?
I'm not, but really, because I didn't see the movie. I have not. I don't
Well,
even
I'm
know
not
what
talking
it was
about.
about.
I'm talking. These are people who did see the movie, but still don't care. Like you didn't care.
Yeah.
Well, I'm for
You didn't
women.
care.
Period.
Right.
And me too. And that's
Right.
what I wanted. That's the difference,
Yeah.
though. Feminism is about all women.
And the underprivileged. I don't care what race, creed, or color.
Right.
That's what I'm for.
You can't pick and choose what you want.
Equality.
Who should get equality?
Yeah.
You can't decide. Okay,
All
well we
people.
want equality, but skip you. And then
No.
on top of it, they're also bringing back up their the wage gap. Like white women get paid 80% less than white men.
Wow.
You know how much
But-
less we get paid?
Okay.
So it goes white men, white
Well,
women.
they're at the top.
Everybody
Food chain.
else, then black men, then black women. We're at the bottom of the list.
That's
We're
right.
at the bottom, lower than any other race.
Wow.
And we are the most educated.
Wow.
Right.
So black women got the most degrees. We're the most educated. We're the most ready and for these different jobs out here. We're capable and all of that, and we still
But
get
the
paid
least
less
paid.
than everybody else.
Wow.
That's right.
And you want to talk to me about an award?
Right. Yeah.
No.
We've got other fights.
No.
Bigger fish.
I think
Bigger
it's-
fight.
I think that's reminiscent of the experiences that we have in the country. There are obviously two different experiences, being one race than being another. And then when you add socioeconomic statuses into it, that even makes it even broader and different. So,
Right.
I just think y'all need to just slow your roll
Yeah.
on requesting our presence in your fight. You need to make sure that it's a fight for all women. Before
Women.
you start throwing around the word feminism.
Right.
Before you start throwing around, oh, this is not fair. It's not fair to you or us. Are you talking to me, or are you just talking to you and your girlfriends on your side of the tracks? You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's all we give into that. Good luck to y'all and everything. But you working with a lot more than what we working with.
Yeah.
Okay? It's an uphill battle for everybody. I'm not saying that, white women don't go through sexism and all of that. Of course they do.
Of
I
course.
know that.
Of course.
But
they
it's
do.
time for y'all to know that the Latino women, black women, Asian women, we all going through it too. Indian women, we're going through it too.
Well,
Yeah.
the
and
power.
we're going through racism.
Well, the
Absolutely.
power would be if we all came together.
Yeah,
So
but
the power is in
and
all
that's
women.
my point.
And so
like,
that's what needs to
and
happen.
y'all got bigger microphones than we do on top of it. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
You got bigger microphones, so you need to include everybody in that discussion
Yeah.
instead of it just being about you. And that's my only point to that. So, we're going to leave it at that. But that's our show for this week, you
All
guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on Spotify, give us a like on Spotify as well. I think you can, hit it with 5 stars if you enjoyed the episode. And we will see you next Wednesday for another episode of Ask Mama. Please be sure to DM us your questions for Mama at our Instagram page, Ask Mama Podcast. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.